The focus of today's video is going to be the mole, and not this type of mole, but the mole is a measurement that we're going to use in chemistry. So this should be a very short video, but probably the most important video of the year. We're going to be using the mole throughout the rest of the course, and if you don't have a good understanding of this concept, it's going to be very difficult to succeed the rest of the way. So what is a mole? Well, a mole is just a number, right? It was originally described as the amount of a substance that contains the same number of particles as there are in exactly 12 grams of carbon-12. Okay, so if you had 12 grams of carbon-12, which is an element, you'd have this many atoms of that. And there just happens to be 6.022 times 10 to the 23 atoms in 12 grams of carbon-12. So, the mole is basically 6.022 times 10 to the 23 of something. If I had 6.022 times 10 to the 23 of you in my classroom, I would have a mole of students in my classroom. Okay, so this concept, this is the same concept we use in a lot of different ways. Okay, for example, a carton of eggs has 12 eggs in it, but we simplify that by counting in cartons. So if I had 2 cartons of eggs, I would actually have 24 eggs. Right? But we would just say, to simplify it, we would say 2 cartons. Same idea with a ream of paper. If it has 500 sheets in that ream of paper, okay, you would have, and you had 4 reams of paper, you would have 2,000 pieces of paper. But it's easier to count in reams and say 4 reams of paper. Okay, so 4 reams of paper, 2,000 pieces of paper. Easier to say 4 reams. Loaf of bread, for example, if you had 10 pieces of bread in a loaf, again, if I said I had 5 loaves, 50 pieces of bread, but again, it's easier to count in loaves. We use the same idea with money. Okay, 100 pennies is $1. Why count in pennies? We can simplify and count in dollars. So what we do in science, okay, is use a mole to count molecules or atoms. Okay, and that's called Avogadro's number because Avogadro was the man that discovered this idea of the mole. But when you consider that in 12 grams, it's not a whole lot of carbon-12, but in 12 grams of that, you have 6.022 times 10 to the 23 of something, you're dealing with a huge number. That's a lot of atoms. And so we use the mole to simplify that. Thank you.